look, I want to talk to people about learning, So people ask me how I've become successful, why I'm successful, how other people become successful, how they can become successful more quickly. Here's the thing. You have to consistently learn. Being the smartest person in the world, it's not about that. It's about how quickly you learn stuff and your desire to learn stuff. And I say all the time, mastery is super important in anything that you do, because reality is there's so many people that aren't masters in whatever it is they do. People have gotten lazy and they're not really good at things. Whether you're a photographer, a videographer, a writer, it doesn't matter what it is, but what you should be doing is trying to get really good at whatever it is that you've decided to do. And I want to talk about some ways to do that. One of the ways is to figure out what good is first, So for me, one of the things that I'm trying to do is to get fast in a race car. What does that look like? What is really fast? Sometimes we use reference points that aren't the best reference points. Just because the guy is a little bit faster than you doesn't make him fast, right? So that's a bad reference point. You have someone that's a videographer. You have someone that's a business person, and the person might just be a few steps ahead of you. That's not a good reference. Find reference points that are excellent at what it is that you do, so that you have something to strive for. And then take that thing, whatever it is that you're trying to get good at, whether it's tennis, whether it's golf, whether it's photography, whether it's starting a particular business. What you want to do is break that thing down. Figure out what the anatomy of that thing is. So, I'll use golf, right, as an example. Golf, example that a lot of people can maybe relate to. So you got to first learn to hit the ball. You got to learn how to hit the ball with long clubs, short clubs. You got to learn how to short game. You got to learn how to pitch. You got to learn how to putt. You got to learn how, the mental game. You got to learn a lot of different things, course management. But you got to figure out what all those pieces to whatever it is that you're trying to learn is, right? So what I call that is breaking down that thing. What's the anatomy of being good at this thing? What are all the elements that are important, right? And then figure out how you can focus on one thing at a time. A lot of times we try to do too much, right? And we overcomplicate things. Because again, a reference point is someone that's really good in all of these things. So we want to get like them. But if we break things down, start to do one thing at a time, we will accelerate our results, right? Break them down, get good at maybe hitting short irons, then hitting long irons, and then hitting drivers or woods, and then short game, long game, all that sort of. Break it down to small pieces that you can master, you can get good at, you can get confident at. Get confident at something first and understand where you are, competency, and then later you can move on to further get mastery of that thing. And then make sure that as you're learning, as you're practicing, as you're getting the experience that's going to make you better in whatever it is, make sure that you have a coach. Make sure that you have someone that can help you get faster. Some people are too proud to ask for help. Some people are too proud or too cheap to pay someone to help them get there. I've gotten really good at a number of things. I mean, I've had a lot of hobbies, right? I've gotten really good at photography. I've gotten really good at tennis and golf and various types of businesses. And I have a lot of, there's been oftentimes when I've started these things, these hobbies or whatever it is, right, with other people that started at the same time. And their approach was to go out and just play or go out and just do it, right? And so there is merit to experiencing things. Some things you can't learn from a book. What I'm saying specifically, get the experience, but get the coaching. Get the experience and get the coaching. And that's going to help you accelerate whatever it is that you're doing.
If you're going through a really hard time, the dark days eventually will pass and clear away, right? So and the sun will come back, right? So whatever it is that you're going through, know that this will be temporary, and that sooner the sun will come out again, because there is a time to be born and there is a time to die. So I want you to know that you're going to die, and there is nothing that you're going to do about it. But what I hope you will do is, I hope you will live, right? So you need to say, no matter how hard it may be, no matter how hard it may seem, no matter how hard this year start, I'm still going to get the great out of this. I'm still going to step out of the place. And some of you right now think it's tomorrow, right? So you're gonna be the person say tomorrow that took that son to grave, right? So, and I say that the reason that we don't even explore the possibility of what to do is because subconsciously we don't believe that it can happen for us, and we don't believe that we deserve, right? So
Talked about knowing what good is, right? Getting a good reference point. We talked about understanding the anatomy of whatever that thing is, breaking it down into smaller pieces. Then focusing on, you have to know what it is you're trying to get good at and what those little pieces are. And then focuses on getting confident at each one of those little pieces, one thing at a time. Getting a coach, someone that can help you get better at it faster. And then the other thing is getting a group of people. Get connected with a group of people that also do this thing, that's also on that same journey that you're on, because that's going to help you get good at it faster. You're going to have other people, you have people that you can compare yourself to, not because you're one to outdo. Actually, you do what I'll do. You do what I'll do them. Let me not even fake. You do want to beat people. You do want to compete, right? Now, you don't have to make it known that you're competing, but you want to compete, because competition fires us up. It makes us better at whatever it is that we do. It's going to give us the motivation. And, get good at stuff that you like. Get good at stuff that you love. You're going to spend a lot of time with it. So those are my tips for getting good at stuff, for learning very fast. If you follow those tips, you're going to learn faster, and you need to learn faster. You need to start to master things in order to progress in whatever journey it is that you're on.
Who are you? Not what business are you in, or really in, or what business you need to be in. Not why are you in the business, not what do you want from the business, but who are you in your core? And let me explain. All of us in this room have different gifts that we can give, regardless of our business. I have found there are what I would call 3 gifts of labor. And when I say labor, I believe other than my love and other than your love, the greatest gift we can give someone other than our love is our labor. And in my case, my labor is a source of love. I'm trying to love you into the place you get what you want, whether you know it or not. It might sound corny to you, but it's really what's true in my heart. And so it gives me great joy. But there are 3 gifts you can give through your labor. You can first give the gift of being a great artist or talent, or a skilled producer. Now, if this is your primary gift, it means that what excites you is creating things. That's what artists do. When I say artist, I don't just mean like someone who paints. Your art might be negotiation. Your art might be writing software code better than anybody else. Your art might be designing fashion better than anybody else. These people live to produce some form of product or service or result, and they love to see its impact on people's lives. That is their primary drive and motivation. That's what rewards them. The artist wants to make money, we all do, but the artist will never sell out. They don't really want to sell the business. When I talk about selling a business, all the artists look at me with this confused look like, why would I do that? This is what I want to do the rest of my life. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that limits to what you're going to build in the business if that's the only filter you use. Now, the second gift that you could give someone is the gift of being a manager or leader. If you're a manager or leader, your labor, your skill, your ability is really to manage people and processes. And people that are manager leaders, they love to manage people. Artists usually get frustrated with too many people because they just want to create what they want. But a manager leader loves it. And they don't just love managing the people, they love managing the process, they want to make it better. They're about building a system, which, by the way, a business is a system for adding value. An organization is only a system, because if you leave and there's no system, there's no business. But if there's a system, it'll go on even when you're not there, whether it's McDonald's or GE. So you can replace the people and it still works. That's a system. Manager leaders are outstanding at that. The third person is what we call an entrepreneur, or a better term would be a massive risk taker. Because most of you in this room consider yourself to be an entrepreneur, but I would argue to you that maybe the language would be more accurate is you're entrepreneurial, meaning you enjoy creating things, including lots of different companies, but that's not an entrepreneur. What makes them an entrepreneur is they're in it for the economics and they're in it for the juice of the ups and downs. They actually love taking risks. That's a true entrepreneur. And they're, unlike the artist, the manager leader, they're happy to sell the business. You know, they'll sell the business and they'll just buy another one or they'll start another one and they might like the product, but the product can change. It's not about the product for the entrepreneur. It's about creating this business that they can make money out of and sell. So it's a different mindset. What if you had to choose between helping people in 3 locations versus selling the business and making a 10x profit? He goes, I'd never do that. It would be wrong for my patients. I want to be there for all of them. He's just an overproductive artist. And by the way, he makes money, but nowhere near as much as he could because he's not looking to maximize it. He says he does, but it's not his nature. His nature is do more cool things for people, which he enjoys, and he's entrepreneurial. He's more entrepreneurial than the people he knows, but the people he knows are not true entrepreneurs. So here's the truth. If money wasn't a question, what would I do? Would I want to trade things for people, see them light up? Would I want to run the organization, manage people and processes? Do I want to take the risk, be there, sell it, do something else again? What is your nature? Now, you might have all 3 skills. They're not equal. We all have one that we're better at than the others. And the secret to fulfillment, you can do all 3 of them. But if you're going to be fulfilled, you got to spend the majority of time in your nature. And by the way, under stress, you'll go back to your nature. The artist goes back to working on the products. The manager leader tries to change the organization. The entrepreneur wants to sell it and do something else. That's the nature of the person under stress. And under excitement, you tend to go back here. And most people have stress and excitement in their business. So the question becomes not what do you want, but what's your nature so you're most fulfilled? See, many of you came here wanting to be an entrepreneur, and you might be better as a skilled artist without all the risks than taking your money and investing in entrepreneurs that are already the best in the world that you'll never be because it's not your nature, and make 10 times your money, 20 times your money, 30 times your money off someone else who takes all the risks, who stays up all night, who never breathes, who finds the way to do it while you party and do what you love. And many of you have not considered that. So
trusting your passion will help you answer what is the purpose of your life. This isn't hard to do it at all. You have to notice the things that you always look forward to. You may or may not have a passion in life already. Your purpose can be the driving force behind this. If you feel lost, your sense of purpose can be your own connection to something larger, something that will allow you to truly make a difference in your life. So
the real question is, what's your nature? If you can align with your nature, you'll eliminate so much stress. If you align with your nature, you're going to be 10 times more fulfilled. If you align with your nature, you're going to be 10 times more effective. But most of us have got our egos involved because of the conditioning of society, and we say, I want to be that entrepreneur, I want to be the guy to start Google or Apple or whatever the case may be, and chances are that's not what you're going to do. You can still build a great business. But those things are usually not what most people experience. So which of these is you at your core? Because the question we're going to answer is this. Who are you in your true nature? Now, I have all 3 of these skills, but they're not equal. And I'm not fulfilled equally by all 3 of them. But here's what I've done. I've surrounded myself with people that have the other skills, and I've gotten really good at being an entrepreneur. But guess what I still love most? This. So what do? I've developed that skill. I know how to do it. And in those other businesses, I've surrounded myself with great manager leaders and great entrepreneurs. And I'm a great entrepreneur, but I'm not as great as them because I'll never maximize the profit at the highest level because I want to do more for the customer. It's my nature. So I divorced myself from some of those businesses in that area. I'm the strategist. I bring the value there, but I don't get in the way of decisions. Like, bottom line is, I have different people as partners. I play a different role in those places based on the goals of what I want to accomplish in those areas. I'm the last person that would limit you and say you can only be this. I hope you know that about me. But I also want you to be fulfilled. Because in the end, the money's not going to do it. The situation's not going to do it. It's aligning with what fulfills you that will make you fully alive. And if you do that really well, you can also make more money than you can imagine. But you got to know your true nature and you got to align with it. So the question we're going to answer is this. Who are you at your core? What fulfills you most? And who do you need?
once you know what is important in your life and what your dream life look like in the long run, you need to take action and set your long-term, medium, and short-term goals. Action on the goals will enable you to achieve goal, dream, and change in your life. Remember that your goals may change. Always be flexible with setting goals and achieving goals. As things in life change, your goals need to